Hello, hello. Excuse me for 1 second, just setting up a couple of things. Alrighty. Hello. Hello again. This is my second live stream, so see how I go with this one. I've been practicing a couple of things, been working on a couple of different animations and that, but basically what I want to do in this live stream is I want to show how I do my tail, how I animate the tail in oops, so I'll turn the volume down a bit for a second. Yeah, how I animate the tail in Opentoonz. I want to set up a plastic tool which puts a little grid over the tail, and then I'll build a bone structure in it and then animate it with keyframes throughout my animation. So I'll sort of show you step by step how I'm gonna do that. Yeah, my last live stream, I learnt a couple of things from it, because I noticed when I'm moving around on the screen, before the way I had it set up is if I clicked on a tab and anything popped down, people on the live stream couldn't see what I was actually clicking on. So at least you can see that now, which makes it a bit easier to follow and understand instead of just things popping up out of nowhere. Yeah. Let's have a quick look to see how many people are actually, if there is anyone watching at the moment. Oh, I got, hey, Sophia, how are ya? I'm still just starting, so I'm sort of setting up a couple of things and trying to get my head around everything at the moment. So, but thank you for joining. I wasn't sure what time to do the live stream. Yeah, no, I'm going good. So, because I remember last time when I was watching your live stream, I basically just woke up and saw the notification on my phone. I'm like, oh, quickly jump on the computer so I could watch it. But because at the moment, because I live in Australia, it's 11 o'clock over here. So I thought 11 o'clock might be a bit better time than, because I usually release my animations at about 4 o'clock. And that's all right for people that live in Australia, but I feel like a lot of the people that actually subscribe to my channel aren't from Australia, and they don't seem to start looking at the views until the next day in my time, which is around 9, 10, 11 o'clock. So yeah, time zones are quite weird. But I've done a little bit more work on my puppet. So I'm trying, the eyes are a bit more fluid, and I've actually spent a couple of hours trying to make the mouth look a bit better. So it does noises now, where before it just sort of was open, shut. But now I can and I can sort of blink a bit better. But it's still, the eyes are actually one of the hardest things to do. They're just rather glitchy at times, but there's a filter that you can make it so it's smooth, but it goes too slow to how quick you blink. But anyway, at least I can go now, where I didn't have that option before. So hopefully the mouth looks a bit better now. Alright, I will start doing what I planned on doing. Hey, Geordie, how are you? I've got a couple people watching me. But the first time I did it, I was pretty much talking to myself for the first 10, 15, 20 minutes. Alright, so what I planned on doing in this animation is if I zoom in on Taz, I want to create a mesh on his tail first. So I will bring over all my drawings. Now up here is all the individual drawings. But when I animate my characters, I put them in their own folder again. So if I go into this, then it's all of Taz's body parts separated. And so the first thing I really want to do is what was it? Yes, I'm trying to. The reason I keep doing live streams is create the watch time, because I've got no watch time at the moment. And it's animations aren't. It takes so long just to make like a 2-minute animation, and I'm lucky to get one out once a month. So the watch time just does not grow very fast. So I'll try and start these live streams, and hopefully. Oh, that's the other thing. I remember from my last live stream, I said the word "hopefully" about 2,000 times. I guess just was just a bit nervous. That's one of my traits I like to do when I'm nervous, so I'm determined not to say that word in this live stream. Yeah, well, if I'm, as you're saying before, how long it takes for me to do an animation. I've only been doing maybe one a month, and then I'm sort of in between the 2 to 3 minute mark. There was one animation I did, which ended up being, I think it was about 8 minutes, but it took like 3 months, and the YouTube algorithm does not like it if you take 3 months to put out a video. So, because at one stage I was growing, getting a lot of views on my animations, and growing all right, but then after I hit a month, it just plummeted, and I was getting no views at all. And then when I did put out the next video, it did all right for a bit, but some of my other videos, which are nowhere near as good, but because I was putting them out more often, they ended up just getting so many more views at the start. So, oh, the other thing, if my puppet's doing weird things, it's because I'm not sitting in front of my webcam properly. But if I'm looking at my animation, my eyes should be slightly looking up, and then if I'm reading comments, the eyes will go to the side. And I got to stop tilting my head to the side when I'm looking. So yeah, so if the nerves, especially like because I set quite a long timer, half an hour before I'm even kind of go live, I'm just ooh. But, no, I guess the more you do it, the more the nerves will disappear, and better you get at it. One thing I really liked about your live stream, Sophia, was you had your friend helping you talk, so sometimes I guess you could concentrate on animating and then he could talk in the background, so it's like people watching a lot more interesting for them. Where I'm hoping is like as soon as I start concentrating on something, I basically can't do 2 things at the same time. I stop talking. So, that's another thing I'll try and improve on, but I guess I'll actually start doing something. Alrighty, so the first thing, another thing I'd like to mention, my internet the past week has been dropping out randomly, so if the live stream just automatically stops, sorry, I can't help it. I don't know what it is, but yeah, well, please don't drop out, or the software will crash on me. Opentoonz is really good for doing that on my computer for some reason. I think I've got some issue. Oh, the other thing I did wrong to my last live stream, I like doing this all the time. I'm zooming in and out and things all around, and when I was watching it back, seeing what it looked like, I'm like, oh Jesus, I'm floating all over the place. Yes, I am using a little bit of a voice changer to make, because when I originally did my gym guy, I'd like to make his voice a bit deeper, and so I actually just left it on because I reckon it just sounds better, but it doesn't change it heaps. It only just makes it a little deeper. But yeah, I think it just makes it sound a bit better, because especially when I start talking a bit louder, I go a bit high pitched. And then it softens that a bit, and I'm also using a bit, so if I start talking really loud, it's not gone crazy for the people listening. But when I actually did Gym Guy properly on my Gym Cat animation, I made it really deep to try and make him sound tough, I guess. So, but yeah, I don't know if I will stick to this Gym Guy puppet, because it's not really, I just did it because I thought it'd be funny, but over time, once I learn how to do the puppet a bit better, I might change it, but my voice won't change that much. I still got to learn how to animate the 2D puppet a lot better. With some of the layers, like around my eyes, the black ring around the eyes is missing. So I'll do that a bit better. But all right, so the first thing I need to do is create a mesh, or plastic mesh for this. So if I click on the mesh tool, go create a mesh, zoom. So how this sort of tool works is it creates a whole pile of triangles. So I'm gonna go, well, probably not that. I'll go 0.2. It makes a whole pile of little triangles that link together, and then you can build a bone structure up through the tail. But you can do this on any drawing you want, but I like doing it on the tail because I can do like a nice flowing motion as he walks around different points. Now you'll see that as I go along, as I'm animating it. But yeah, you build like a little bone structure up the middle, and then when you bend the pieces, it will shrink the triangles on that side, so it makes the tail look nice and flowy. But obviously the smaller triangles you make, the slower my computer starts going, so I can't go too crazy. So I'll probably just do 0.5 in between each triangle, and I will create that. I'll create a new one. So then it will create this layer up here, and in the animation section, which connects all the bits together, if you see, so his tail's there. So it goes from his body, it'll go up to the tail mesh, and then the tail mesh basically just is connected to all the little triangles. So when I go back into this, and I'll remove my other drawings, you'll see that's the little triangles attached to it. So now when I go to build a skeleton, I will, so if I'm on this one, build first. So the first point's basically, that point doesn't move, so I like to put that up the top of his tail, and then I do 2 little bones to this area, because I don't really want this section that attaches back to his body moving much. So yeah, I haven't been reading the comments for a bit. I'll go. I had no idea I was in Australia. That was one of my animations though. As soon as I started, because it would be the animation where he, I actually forgot what I call it, but where my original character I designed of myself was sitting on the chair, and Taz jumps onto the scratcher behind and sort of scares me. That's my proper voice. And when there's a bit when I go back to sort of the bedroom scene, and I pop my head around the corner, and I'm like, have you seen my phone? And then I had a couple of people straight away put comments going, oh, you're Australian. So they picked it up from my accent straight away. But yeah, see, this is, I guess, I'm not sure if you would be able to make a puppet similar, but I'm pretty sure Adobe has their own version, which would work a lot better if you wanted to try and make something similar, Sophia. But because I used the Japanese programs, yeah, because I use, what's it called? I think it's 2D Live to make the puppet, and then I'd put it into it's called PrprLive, and that's what captures a webcam and gets everything moving. But the 2D Live works pretty similar to this Opentoonz, where I'm making like a mesh and building bone structures, and I animate it this way, which I know is, I'm guessing Adobe has the same thing, but I've never really played with Adobe too much, so I really wouldn't know. But I've seen a couple of people do puppets using Adobe software, so you'll be able to do the same thing if you're keen on doing something like that. So I'll just continue making. So these little bones go all the way down his tail. So put one to about there, and then as an example, if I go into the animate mode, it blurs it out because I've put that setting in my computer, because if I leave it looking good, my computer just starts going too slow because it's a bit memory hungry when I'm doing this. But as you see here, if I can start just moving the tail, something like that, just try and make it a bit more smooth. And then if I go down 10 frames, I can make it out. It's a bit excessive, but so as it goes down, the animation, it's sort of how it works. So, but I'll go back to putting everything to how it was. Delete that far back. So now, when he's sitting in the chair, you're not really seeing the tail that well, but the first sort of frame, like his tail. But as you see how I've got this point here and this point here, if I'm moving his tail around, it keeps it connected to his body. So that's the point. That's the reason I do it. And sometimes if I go to full extremes and it's doing this weird jumble of all the eye, you can move it a bit like this and try and smooth that out, but I tend to like to just make it bend further here to get a nicer sort of bend. But on the starting point, I might just make it sort of go like this, and then it's behind the chair, so you're not really going to see it that much. Let's go there. No, the puppet I have done. I took a little while to learn the program, but it has cost me nothing. Apart from I bought this the camera that does it cost me, because it's just a cheap sort of webcam that you can put on any computer and that, and it was like $50. And it's only a cheap one. It does the job as long as, see, I've been looking at the puppet for a bit, as long as I sit in the right position. And if you set the parameters really well, and I guess the more you fill it, the smoother you can get it. But so far it's cost me nothing to set up this. But once you've been using the 2D Live software for a month, then I think they want you to start paying for it each month. So, which I'm getting close to doing, but Puppet seems to be working pretty well. I see my head's just stuck to the side all the time, sorry. Get my head back in the middle. Need to stop moving around. I like to, as I sit in front of the computer, I like to move my body quite a bit, so. And the camera's only got a certain little parameters that it works really well in, so every now and then I'll look back and puppets all over the shop. But yeah, as I was talking about the 2D Live software, I'll leave a link down the bottom afterwards if you're interested in playing around with it. But yeah, you get the first month for free, so yeah, it's because especially for you, Sophia, because you're an animator as well. You can set up a webcam just looking at your face, but I think because I was an animator, I wanted to, I don't know, make it a bit more entertaining or enjoyable for someone just to watch, having one of my characters down the corner talking. Yeah, you should, maybe, I reckon you should look into, because you bought the Adobe software, I think you were saying, so I'm pretty sure it's just a Adobe Animate or Adobe Character or something like that. You'll be able to set up something in there, but it'll be a lot different to the 2D Live software. No, I've got to start doing something. So as on the side here, you see the frames going along, so every 24 frames is a second. Yeah, Adobe Animate. So, because that's one thing that's good with Adobe's, they've got all their different products, and you can swap and chop and change in between everything. I don't need that as big. Move that over. Just zooming in and out 10,000 times. Because the first part of animation, that he's not really even in the camera frame to start off with. But I might actually just pop out of this window and go. Let's see what, as the camera zooms across. Yeah, the Adobe software is actually quite good. It's got a lot of features to it. I just don't know how to use it very well. I used to have a, because a long time ago I reckon I did a trial and I was using it, and then I ended up, because I don't know, I think because I use this software a lot more, I've just got a lot more used to it, and then the two softwares, as you can see, are very different, and I just got more used to this. So, but yeah, Adobe's definitely one of the good animation softwares, and even all their Photoshop and all the other stuff they do is really good. But yeah, this Opentoonz has quite all the features, and it can actually, a lot of people don't like to use it because it's quite complex with some things, but once I've been using it for a bit, I really like it. So I've pretty much done nothing, and I've been streaming for about 20 minutes. Oh yeah, see this bit here, now you can actually start seeing his tail, so I might start animating his tail from about this point. So as he's moving up, so 560 frame, 340, I'll go into there. First I do the main points where I want to set the tail in the main sort of, say if he's jumping or he does a big movement, I do all the main sections, and then I go back over it again, and if he's walking I try and do like the tail swaying motion or something along those lines. So first thing I do is he's standing up, he gets to that position, I'll just make the tail sitting down on the chair. So as he stands up, leaving that position, so he's getting angry at his computer. Bang, and then that's another bit. So I'll just do a little movement there, and then so the tail will stay in that position. Zooming it out 10,000 times, and then as he goes forwards, smash, I will probably move the tail up. So that'd be quite a bang, and I'll keep the tail going in that sort of motion. So yeah, I always tend to do the tail as like the last part of the animation, as I usually do the tail, and then I'll render this out and do all this. I usually do the sound effects in the animation, and then at the end I sort of do the background music and all that as my very, very last thing. So he comes up, headbutts it, and then as he's watching the screen go down, I'll just do the tail, slowly bring it down here. Slowly flop back down to the chair. Play back, bang. And then I'll probably just leave in that position for a bit as he's staring at the computer. What have I done? And then pause it there again, and then I guess as he's stepping back, I'll do it as a movement as if the tail flicks up to get out of the way of his feet. Pink it up a bit more. Thanks, Geordie. Thanks for popping in and having a look at my stream. Hopefully you saw a bit of how the animation size works, but I know a lot of my followers sort of just watch my animations but aren't too fussed about how they're created. But then I've got another group of people that like to always asking questions on how I create my stuff, so that's what gave me the idea to start doing these lives, sort of showing a bit of the behind the scenes and how I create an animation, so I can put a bit more content out, and then people actually see how long it takes animations to do as well. Gives them a bit more of an understanding of why I take so long, because that's one of the questions I get messaged a lot is, why does it take so long? Thanks so much, Geordie, though, for popping in. As it comes down and sits, I will remove the chair again so I can see what's going on. So just sit his tail like that. Yeah, it's definitely a patient building thing, animation. So, but one good thing I do like doing about it though is I can just crank my music in the background and slowly go through. But yeah, it takes all different stages. Like it's sort of at the stage I'm at now of Opentoonz, I've got so many different feet, tail. Like if I click over into this section, you can see all the different foot positions or arm positions that I've got. So it doesn't take me as long to create stuff now. So I'll go, because everything's already drawn up, and as I go through, it shows like all the different beats and that, feet positions, and then I can piece it together. And yeah, that's with Opentoonz. I'm starting to create animations actually a lot faster now, which is good. But when I have to do like a background from scratch, drawing a new character from scratch, it just adds a lot of time onto creating new animation. So, and that's, I've got the goal is to have it done by Thursday, and I'll have a new animation coming out later this week. So it's a bit different to what I normally do. So it's doing I guess you call it like a little bit of a trend of someone else's style. So I'm copying their style of how they create something, but then putting my drawing style in it and copying, I guess, the way he does his music, and the character pops around the screen, and sort of just having a bit of fun of it. So I'll be releasing that next week, and then after that I'm going to start a brand new animation back to my style and how I sort of like to create my jokes and that. So, and I would love it if I can get over 200 subscribers. So I've sort of hit a wall lately, but we'll see how it goes. Sits down. See this, how the mesh is still there, but because I actually got rid of the tail, so as soon as it goes to the next frame, in this box here, there is no drawing of the tail. So as the chair turns around, there is, even though the mesh is still there, it's got nothing in its triangles until I get back to here where his tail's behind the chair again, and then comes back. So position, and then so this is saying as I'll do the main part. So as he gets in this position, see the tail's all weird and crinkled. That's his maximum flight. I'll put the tail how I would like it, which is pretty. Probably in a slight upwards motion. A bit more there. So then that keyframe's held there, and then the way Opentoonz works is it basically just works all the mass between the last keyframe and then makes it go back into that position it was in when I'm sitting. So as he's gone up, I'll go down as he's got his full position. That's probably almost how I like it, but maybe just so that there's where he lands. So I'll straighten the tail out here. Kinky there. Yeah. So mid-flight, and then as he goes down, boom, and when he lands, it's when I want the tail to sort of flop back down. So, position, so starts up, goes down, and then I'll probably just make it pop back up again. There we go. So it should be. I mean, I'll have to go over again and do fine adjustments, but that should be a nice flow as he lands. Boom. Comes. See there, but say the tail probably went up a bit too fast, so I can just drag the keyframe I made there. I'll just drag it down. Oop, wrong button. Drag it down to about there, and then it'll be a slower motion as it steps back up. And then as he's walking along, I'll do a swishy motion in between, but I'll do that at the end. I just want to get the main bits, and then same as here, as you can see, all the keyframes I had to do as he's stepping bit by bit, and it will show if I go so up the top is I do FF the front foot. I go back to the animation stuff, shows the rotation of his foot as he's walking along, and each one of them is basically an individual frame I've done as he's walking frame by frame, which took a bit. But I thought showing the tail mesh might be a bit more entertaining or interesting to watch than just doing frame by frame by frame of every foot motion. Go from this position. As he steps there, I'll probably step his tail down again. Drag it on the floor. In that position. Yeah, I wasn't sure. In time, as I get more and more subscribers when I'm doing these live streams, I will get more people watching at the same time. But I was glad, I mean, already I've had 3 people watching at once, where compared to my first live stream, I only had really one person watching. As he goes up to the door, and I'm probably about I'm going to say halfway through my live stream now. I'm only planning on streaming for about an hour. maybe do a live stream once a month for about an hour, and then try and build up my watch hours. But my main focus is to try and get out animations, because that's what people mainly enjoy watching. This is frame. Another main frame I want to put in as he slams the door. As you see his tails in the door. Right. Squish. So as from this position, I almost like to do a big curl. As if I bend it a bit too much, it starts making the tail look a bit funky. Goes there. And as he's slamming it, I want maybe there. I might actually have to put the tail up to start off with, because it's gonna get in the way of the door. But it might work, but maybe when he's walking up, instead of it going down, I'll move it up from here to this point, so it's not gonna get that problem of sort of getting stuck in the door. See what that looks like. In this position, I'll get it heading up. That's like stepping forwards, up, turns, bang. I'll keep similar to that. I might, where is it? As it goes down, that frame there is down. Get rid of it. Up in position. I think I've gone down to only one person watching at the moment, so that's alright. I'll just get this animation done, because I know it's not the most exciting thing to watch, but I thought a lot of people like to see at the start me just explaining what's going on, creating a mess, moving it around, and then when I'm probably at the 50-minute mark, I'll just render out whereabouts I'm at, talk a little bit more about what's going on and what I'm planning, and then I'll end the live stream there. So that's. I'm just glad I just got a couple of comments this time. I reckon last time I went live I only got about 5-6 comments. At least this time I have a lot more comments. So thank you so much, Geordie, for popping in and saying a couple of things, and also to Sophia for popping in, asking a couple of questions. Helps me out. I always like watching your animations. Jumping in. Always give you a like and a comment to help you grow, and it's good seeing you're growing quite quick, which is good. It's good to see that. Always try and help out everyone. I reckon as he's throwing the door, I'll make the tail do a quick hit. Quick kink. Yep. And what I'm going to actually do is save all this, because I've had it happen to me a number of times where Opentoonz just likes to do a sudden crash on me, and then I lose all the work I've done, which is an absolute pain. I'll go back to this section now, and I'll try and do the movements again. So this has gone up, and then from about this point, I'll get it to hit back down again. Down motion, and then roughly in another second, there's the Taz Creations logo right my way. I'll get his tail to go back up again. And then in another second, roughly 30 to 24 frames, tail float back down again. Each time it's slightly different, so it's not I guess it looks just repetitive. And then from here, I guess I can go up. So I'm not too, there's a couple of minor things I'll just keep picking on here, and then I guess people who end up watching this live stream after it's been live, this point, I mean, it's rather quite boring, but if you flick towards the last 10 minutes, I'll show you when I'm rendering it out and what it looks like once I've finished doing all the little keyframes. It's going through. I was actually surprised how many people even watched my last after. As I was doing it live, I had about 2 to 3 people watching. I had one person watch all the way through, which was awesome. But then afterwards, I had about, I think there's about 60 people ended up watching it afterwards. And a lot of them watched it for a good 15, 20 minutes. So I was really surprised by that, because I just thought it'd be not the most exciting thing. And especially, this one's a lot more complicated, what I've done in this one. But my first live stream was really basic. And I was just nervous I was going to click something or do something wrong. Even though I do this all the time, I just didn't want to something go horribly wrong as I'm going live, and then, oh, what do I do? Just cut it off. Delete the live stream afterwards. But that's all. I guess that's part of the beauty of live stream. You can see what actually happens behind the scenes. Yes. How there are lots of mistakes and alterations and going over your animation 10,000 times. But slowly just getting it to the level you... And I'm quite fussy. Well, I'm getting more fussy with my stuff now, and it's trying to keep that balance in between. Just get the animation out, keep the YouTube algorithm happy, or try and keep putting out quality work. So, bang. Not even slightly up a bit. Now, so that's pretty well. I'll probably render it out there and just see what it looks like. I might make small alterations, but I mean, I've been streaming for nearly 45 minutes now, and that's the main thing I wanted to do, is just show how I animate the tail. And as you can see, let's go on. I just got to check something like my music. That's all gone good. Yeah, you can see how I animate the tail. I mean, you would see the idea roughly in the first 15 minutes, because I don't know how many people would watch my full live stream to this point, but I'm just thankful for the couple of people that have popped in. Maybe some people might flick to the end and see what the final result is, because that happened a little bit on my last live stream. I had sort of the chunk, which was about 2/3 towards the end, had not many views, or most people clicked off of it then, and then a lot of people were just, I guess, looking at the final product at the end, which wasn't that exciting in my first live stream, so I just did like a little Instagram post. But alrighty, so from frame 1, I'm not going to render that amount because my computer is not that fast. So I'm just going to go down to the point where I guess the computer crashes, just like my computer crashes. And I'll start it there, and I'll just do a rough render to probably when the Taz Creations comes up to about there. So we'll stop it at 950. Alright, so if I go up to render, and I'll just do a preview to show me what my work will look like, and then just give my computer a decent amount of time because it's slow, and I'll let it render. It takes a little bit just to piece together what's going on, and then down the bottom here you can sort of watch the bar, and it sort of does, I'd say 30 to 40 frames. It tries to render at the same time, and obviously some frames got a bit more in them than others. As it goes along here, it takes a little bit of time. I can show you what the animation looks like so far, roughly, because this isn't the final render. When I render it properly, it does it a lot better quality, but I just want to do a rough render to see where I'm at and what it looks like. And then because I'm getting close to when I want to actually finish streaming, so I thought I might show this part as it's going along. See how, as my memory slowly gets a bit more full on my computer, it starts going slower and slower and slower. Hopefully it doesn't crash. What else? Yeah, so I got another animation that I will be trying my hardest to get out Thursday. I would say I'm about 75% finished, and I really want to get this one done. Hopefully it gets me a couple new subscribers, and I'm really sick of listening to the same song over and over again, but it'll give you a laugh. It better give you a laugh. It took me a while. And then, yeah, over the next month I'll be working a bit more on my gym puppet. I wouldn't mind trying to get his head turning back and forwards as I'm doing it. Trying to get the camera set up a bit nicer, looks a bit smoother. Yeah, main goal over the next week is to get 200 subs. My TikTok's actually been going really, really well, and I'm well over 10,000 subscribers now. So I think that's where most of my traffic comes from. Bursts and that. Rendering is almost done. Play it from this point. As you can see, I've already done the sound of sex. Headbutts it. Mouse out the way. Jumps. Goes along. And that's, I guess, just a little preview of what the final result will eventually, when I render out properly, and I put some, clean up the sound effects, and I'll put some background music, and then the animation will go probably about a minute. Go for about a minute, but I already had most of it done because this was my first animation, and then I went back and watched it and it's like, wow, I could do that a lot better and that a lot better. So I was like, oh, as an example, I did a little video just picking on the little things that I would change, and then over the last week I've altered all those little things. Pretty much just redid Taz, just made him a bit more smoother looking, better motion compared to the first time I did it, and just fixed up the little mistakes in that. And then I'll release this one in maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I'm trying to release a new video every couple of weeks, and go from there. Yeah, alrighty. What was the Yeah, so I would say I'm 95% done this animation, apart from just the final bit. I reckon I'll make. I'll save it where I'm at now. Save all, and then at the end, I'm thinking of making maybe the Taz Creation logo sort of slide to the side, so I can do a decent thumbnail in the middle here, link to my next video, and then just make it a little bit nicer. But it shouldn't take me too long to do all those last final bits and pieces. Probably an hour, but an hour, and then I can finish it off. I've already, done most of the work, so it should be almost there. So I'm getting almost to the end, so I'd like to thank the couple of people that have popped in, said hi, asked a couple of questions, and I'll leave this live stream on my page for a bit, so hopefully I can get the watch hours up as I keep growing and growing. But as I get better at these live streams, I might probably just leave up the ones that more entertaining and people actually don't mind watching, because especially towards the middle of this one, it just gets quite boring, and most people definitely wouldn't be watching this all the way through. But each time I'm trying to improve and keep moving, stop doing this, moving in and out. And then wish me luck that I get 2,000 subs. 2,000 subs, I love 2,000 subs. 200 subs in the next week. And then, as I've said before, my goal is to get 1,000 subscribers and get 4,000 watch hours. And then we'll see where we go from there. Always going to keep trying improving, keep trying to make funny animations so people enjoy it. And thank you for the people that keep tuning in and watching my stuff. That's it. I'm going to end this live stream now, so thank you. And I am out of here. Bye. Oh. See you later.